Make sure you visit us at www.autocadin20hours.com. There you have a free trial and more information. Before we begin, let's talk for just a moment about YouTube settings. On your YouTube viewing screen, you've got this little gear. If you click on it, this window comes up and it allows you to set the quality of it. Try and set it for an HD setting if you have that available. That may not be available depending on the speed of your browser, but try and set it up into at least 720 if you can, or a little bit higher. It'll give you a nice crisp viewing screen. Okay, this is AutoCAD in 20 hours, Chapter 1, Section 1.1. This will be the setup. I have already installed AutoCAD 2014, a trial version of it here, which is what many of you will be using. So we want to exit the trial here. And here we're going to try. This is the days menu. I've got 13. You should have 30 if you just installed it today. We're going to try it. And you'll start up your program the same way if you've purchased the program. The first thing that happens is we get a lot of pop-ups. We're going to get rid of anything that pops up on the screen by clicking the little X's. There's a little X right here. And now we're going to go up to the top and we're going to change this setting here. Most of you are going to have this setting here. Let's get rid of this one where it says drafting and annotation. This is the ribbon version at the top. You got the ribbon. We are going to change it back to AutoCAD Classic, so everybody's going to do that, so we're all in the same version. And we get more pop-ups. We'll get rid of those. Now the next thing we're going to do, down here in the command line, we're going to type startup. Some of the older versions don't have this screen up here. Everything gets typed in down below, but it doesn't matter. If you type it, it goes into the system. And here you see down at the bottom, it's asking for a value, and we're going to give it a value of 1. If you've got the older versions, your 1 will appear here. This has got a system where it shows up in a different window, and we're going to give it a value of 1. Now, when we go here to the AutoCAD symbol up in the corner and click New from the drop-down menu, we're going to get this Create New Drawing dialog box. It has 3 buttons at the top. We're going to click the first button, and we're going to click this first radio button. This is called a radio button, where it says imperial feet in inches. And then we're going to click OK. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to get more toolbars. In order to do that, we hover over a toolbar that's already on the screen, and we right click, and this toolbar menu shows up. Now, if these little boxes appear, by the way, hit escape to get them to go away. If you come up to the top and you right click on some of them, you'll get nothing unless you click on the little grip. Who knows why that is? Others of them up the top will give you the menu, and some of them won't, but at the side they'll always give you the menu. So select these toolbars, Dimension, and unfortunately it disappears every time. Draw. I'm going to click Draw Order off because I don't use it. And okay, we just lost our toolbars. There we go. Draw came back. Okay. Inquiry. We're going to click on Layers. we are going to select Modify, and we are going to select Object Snap, and we are going to select Zoom. Now these all appeared off to the side, but usually what's more common is that they'll pop up here in the screen. Sometimes they pop up to the side, sometimes they pop up in the screen. I've never quite been able to figure out why that is. So yours may have appeared here. In order to move them and dock them off to the side, we are going to hover over the grip, press down on the mouse button, hold it down, then move the bar over to the side where we want it and release it. Grab it by the grip, hold down on the mouse button, move it to where you want it, and release it. Now down at the bottom we have a row of buttons, and I'm going to turn them all off except for the ortho and the object snap. Your screen may look like this and have grids on it. I usually don't use the grids, so just turn those off also. Now hover over the object snap and right click. That'll bring this flyout box. You can set your object snaps right here by clicking on these buttons, or you can click the settings button, and that brings up the drafting settings, which, as you can see, has quite a few tabs. We're interested in the object snap, and we're going to turn on the endpoint, the midpoint. I'm actually going to turn the node off, the intersection, and the perpendicular. Those are very handy. If you have too many of them or all of them on, often it'll start snapping to places that you don't want it to. Well, that's the setup. Just a couple of notes here. If you hover over the buttons and don't press a button on your mouse, these boxes fly out and tell you what the buttons are called. If you hover over the grip of the toolbar, it will tell you what that toolbar is. Sometimes it takes a minute to do that. Also, the ortho, you can hit F8 on your keyboard, and for the object snap you can hit F3, and that toggles it off and on. So that's your quick setup, and now you're ready to begin drawing. If you have trouble with the line, look at my line video, and the setup for text, line, layers, and dimensions will be found on those videos. Be sure to visit www.AutoCAD in 20 hours for your free trial and more free information.